children. In the previous class, we talked about the two types of nutrition, autotrophic modes of nutrition and heterotrophic modes of nutrition. And what was the autotrophic nutrition? Autotrophic means the nutrition process where an organism can produce their own food. And in the heterotrophic nutrition mode, there the organism cannot produce their own food and they depend on the autotrophs for the food. Well, in this class, we will talk about the autotrophic modes of nutrition. In the previous class, I also told a term, that is photosynthesis, and I told you that this is the process through which plant can produce their own food. And we told that the green plants are the examples of autotrophs in our environment. So let's begin today's class. Look at the board. I just splitted this term, photosynthesis. Okay. When you study science or any subject, please try to understand each and every word, because each and every word means the actual meaning of the particular word. Okay. So photo and synthesis. Photo means light. Okay. And synthesis means production. Then what it can conclude? We can conclude that something should to be produced in the presence of light. Now you can call me what kind of light it is? Our tube light, the lamp light, or any kind of artificial light? No. The light is the natural sunlight. Okay. Well, so this is the meaning of the word photosynthesis. Something is produced with the help of sunlight. Okay? Good. Now, suppose you are cooking something in your kitchen. Kitchen is called the place where you can cook or we can cook. That means to produce the food by the plants, we need a kitchen. Yes, green plants, we told you green plants. And obviously green is an important terminology here. Plants have green leaves. Okay? In some cases they have green colored stem. Okay? The green portion of the plants contain a colored pigment, and that pigment is termed as chlorophyll. Okay? Then what is the chlorophyll? Or define chlorophyll, what you will say? You will say that chlorophyll is the green colored pigment present in the plant body and it helps to produce the food or it helps to photosynthesis process. Okay? So, to cook the food, we need some ingredients. Okay? So, number one ingredient, you can tell me the sunlight. So what is the number one? Obviously, sunlight. Okay? And what is the number two? You already learned about chlorophyll. Yes. Chlorophyll. Now, what is the next and main ingredients to produce the food? Well, number three is carbon dioxide. In short, or chemical formula of carbon dioxide is CO2. Both C and O are in of capital. Okay? Carbon dioxide we exhale through our respiration process. And this is the important ingredient to produce the food in case of plant. And number four is of course water. The chemical formula of water is H2O. Here C means carbon, O means oxygen, and here H means hydrogen and O of course oxygen. So these are the total ingredient list that is used actually. The food is glucose. Have you heard the term glucose? Glucose is the basic carbohydrate. We eat a lot of carbohydrate in our daily dietary meal, like roti, like rice, etc. Glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate that the plant produces in case of photosynthesis process. And to produce the glucose, another oxygen molecule is also produced. Then, if I consider the total procedure in a simple equation, what should be the equation? The equation should be carbon dioxide plus H2O or water. And what is producing? It's producing glucose and oxygen, I told you. And to complete the reaction process, we need sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay? Then glucose is the main food that is produced due to the photosynthesis process. Then we can summarize the total thing. Plants need carbon dioxide, water and minerals, sunlight and chlorophyll to produce the food, and the food is glucose. And with this process, oxygen is also produced and released in the atmosphere. Okay? Now you can tell me that green plants contain chlorophyll as well. But carbon dioxide and water, how they enter in the plants? Yes, it's a very good question. How they enter in the plants? Carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere, in our environment, right? Okay. The plants have some leaves. All higher plants have leaves, right? In the lower portion of the leaves, there are lots of pores or holes. Just like this kind of holes are present in the lower portion of the plant leaves. Okay, these holes are called stomata. Stomata is a singular term. In case of plural, it should be stoma. Okay. So, this kind of holes or pores are present in the underside of the leaves, and these are the entry point of CO2 or O2. Through these holes or stomata, CO2 can enter and oxygen is released after the photosynthesis process. Understood, children? So, stomata is also very important anatomical structure present in the plant body, through which CO2 or oxygen, carbon dioxide or oxygen can exchange their places. Okay? Now, how water can enter into the plant body? We already know that plants are deep-rooted. Okay? The roots are well distributed under the soil, and our soil are very porous in nature. In case of soil, why it is porous? Because there are so many air gaps present in the soil. On the gap region, there are lots of water, and those water enter into the plant through the root. So, root are the main opening center through which water can enter into the plant body. That means stomata help the plants to enter the carbon dioxide, and roots help the plants to enter the H2O or water, and gathering them together in the leaves, because there is chlorophyll. So gathering them in the leaves, the plant can produce their own food through this photosynthesis process. Okay. So now you tell me, children, what is the importance of this photosynthesis process? Number one, deer, buffaloes, cows. These are the grazers, or they eat the grasses or green plants directly. Okay. Then what is the importance? Plants produce food and desert animals or grazer animals eat the direct plants to get their food. So plants are the savior of the world, I told you previous day. Right? Plants produce the food and we all are depending on the plants for the food. The next, photosynthesis process releases oxygen in the air. And we all know that oxygen is very important for our respiration. We inhale oxygen and that is the respiration process, and we exhale carbon dioxide. That means for our survival, for the animal survival and the plant survival also, oxygen is very much important in the atmosphere. So photosynthesis process releases oxygen and help the whole world for life. And the third one is, in the atmosphere, O2-CO2 balance. Why is this so important? There are so many, millions of plants and animals present in the environment. Okay. We all inhale oxygen for our breathing purpose, respiration purpose, and we all release the carbon dioxide. So, if there are no plants present in the atmosphere, then after some time the atmosphere will carry much more carbon dioxide and oxygen amount will decreasing gradually. So, there will be a lot of harassment. We cannot survive. So, in the atmosphere or in the air, oxygen-carbon dioxide balance is very important. And this balancing is done by photosynthesis process. Okay? So, this is the total autotrophic nutrition mode and the photosynthesis process. So, in the next class, we will talk about the heterotrophic modes of nutrition. I hope this is very clear to you now. Thank you.